Okay, today we're solving systems of equations by graphing. Okay, so we're gonna be graphing. So first, let's review how we graph. When we graph, we like this equation a lot. Y is equal to mx plus b. When you use this equation is first you gotta make sure that y is all by itself. It has to be by itself or else you cannot use it. If it's not by itself, you get it by itself. Okay, you solve for y. Now, once you make sure that y is by itself, the m, in this case, will be a number. Whatever number is right next to the x, that is your slope. And we define slope as rise over run. Rise over run. The rise is that moves you up or down. If it's positive, you go up. If it's negative, you go down. If it's zero, don't move anywhere. Stay there. Okay. The run moves you sideways, positive to the right, negative is to the left. If it's zero, you stay here. Okay. And the b value, that is called the y-intercept. And the reason it's called a y-intercept, that's where the lines are across the y-axis. So whatever the number is, you find on the y-axis. Okay. Now, let's review systems of equations. What that is, you're going to be graphing two lines. And when you graph two lines, I'm sorry, there are three possibilities. Possibility number one is, you know what, maybe you have something that looks like this. There'll be a line like this, and second line will be like this. Okay, so we call these line L and this line M. Um, if they intersect, you say they have one solution. And the solution is where the two lines touch each other. They intersect. Okay, so that's the solution. Tell me the x value of that point, the y value, and that's it. You gotta tell me what it is. Okay. Second possibility is, you know what? Maybe one line would look like this, and the second line will look like this. Okay. So line L will look like this, and line M will look like this. They're parallel, and these lines never touch. So in this case, you say the answer is no solution. And we're supposed to know if they're parallel, the slope of line L will be equal to the slope of line M. So those two lines will have the same slope. And the third possibility is the following. Maybe one line will look like this, and the second line will look like this. So what you have is you have one line on top of the other. So maybe line L will look like this, and line M will look like this. Now these lines they touch in many places. So we say that there's many solutions. Now in this case, the slope of line L would also be equal to the slope of line M, and the y-intercept of line L would also be equal to y-intercept of line M. Okay. Now let's do one problem. solve each system by graphing. So what you're gonna do is right above it, I'm gonna write y is equal to mx plus b. So the number that's by itself, that is the b. So in this case, the b is 3. In this case, the b will be -1. My b will be -1. Okay. Now, the m is whatever is next to the x. This is my m, and this will be my m. So the m, let me call this line L. The slope of line L will be 1/3, and the slope of line M will be 1/3. Now, I don't know if you noticed, but the m's are equal to each other. So most than likely, these lines will be parallel. Okay, so let's go ahead and graph them. Put in your x and y axis. Here's my x, and here's my y. Y-intercept is 3, go to 3. Remember, this is my x, and this is my y. Go to 3 on the y, 1, 2, 3. That is my y-intercept. Now, remember, this is my rise, and this is my run. The rise moves you up or down. If it's positive, you go up. If it's negative, you go down. If it's zero, you stay there. And the run moves you sideways, positive, negative, and zero. So if my rise is 1, go up 1, because it's positive 1, I go up 1. And my run is positive 3, 1, 2, 3. Now draw a line between those points, and that'll be line L. So this will be line L. Now the second line, y-intercept is -1, -1 right here. On the y-axis, -1. Y-intercept is -1, and same slope. Rise 1, run 3, 1. Rise 1, 1 up, and 3 to the right. Draw a line between them, and that'll be the answer. So let's call this line M. Now, if this graph right here looks like case number 2, so in this case, I say my answer is no solution. What I'm saying is those two lines, they have nothing, no point in common. And that's it. Okay? So to make the graphing easier, right above this, write y equals mx plus b, and that'll allow you to find the m and the b. Okay? Now let's do number 6 from the homework. Right above this, I'm gonna write y is equal to mx plus b. Now when you use that equation, you want the other ones to look similar to this, and they don't look the same. They don't line up. Okay. Well, when you do this, when you use this equation, you have to make sure that y is by itself. Then you can find the m and the b. If it's not by itself, you get it by itself. Okay. If you notice the y is not by itself, so I'm gonna copy the equation right here. And the only reason why I'm doing that is I need the space to solve for y. So I'm gonna write it over here on the side. Now, I don't know if you noticed the y is almost by itself. I need to get a -2. This is -2 times y. The opposite of multiply is divide. So I'm going to divide by -2. What you do to one side, you must do it to the other side. Divide everything by -2. These will cancel, so the answer will be y. You have 1 over -2x over here. And 6 divided by 2 will give you 3. And a negative divided by a negative will give you a positive. So you have the y by itself. Okay? Now, The b is whatever number is all by itself. So in this case, the b will be 3. Now the m is whatever number is next to the x. The number that's right next to the x will be 1 over negative 2. So my m will be 1 over negative 2. And remember, this is a rise, and the number on the bottom is the run. Now, same thing as over here. Get the y by itself. If you notice the y is almost by itself, get rid of negative 2. This is negative 2 times y. The opposite of multiply is divide by negative 2. Do the same to the other side. These will cancel. So the answer will be y is equal to negative divided by negative will give positive, so that is 3 over 2x. And 2 divided by 2 will give you 1, and a plus divided by a negative will be a negative. So in this case, the b will be negative 1, and the m will be 3 divided by 2. Now, to get ready for graphing, putting the x and y axis. Remember, this is the x and this is the y axis. Let's do this first. Y-intercept is 3. On the y-axis, find 3. 3 will be right here. And then my rise is positive 1. Go up 1, and my run is negative 2. Because it's negative, you go to the left. So up 1, 2 to the left. Draw a line between those 2 points, and that'll be the answer. Now the second line. The y-intercept is negative 1. Find negative 1 in here. Negative 1 will be right here on the y-axis. Now my rise is 3. 1, 2, 3 up because it's positive, and 1, 2, positive 2. Now draw a line between those points, and that'll be your answer. So based on the graph that we have, we know that these, because they intersect, they have one solution. Tell me the x value and y value of where they intersect, where they meet, and that'll be the answer. The x is 1, 2, and the y will be 2. And that is the answer. This system has one solution, is 2 divided by 2. Okay, so there are some problems where the y is not by itself. You get it by itself. Okay, thank you.